The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Morning Market Kickoff with your host, Tommy O'Brien. Now, Tommy O'Brien.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien coming to you live from TFNN Wednesday morning, 8:30 a.m., 60 minutes to go until the opening bell. We have markets in positive territory. S&P's up 34 points, trading at 2766. NASDAQ up an even 100, trading at 8532. The Dow up 267, trading at 23,192. We've got oil, a little bit of stability maybe, but that stability coming at $11.79. That chart, why not? We'll jump over it to it. The flash low yesterday, $6.50, seems to mellow out from about midnight, hanging at $11.81. We'll see where oil shakes out today. We've got gold contract trading higher, $17.16, up about $30. You see yesterday's low of $16.66. Gold climbing to a high at about 5 a.m. of $17.29, currently trading at $17.17. Checking on the VIX as we get some higher market action this morning. The VIX pulling back a bit, 43.79. Start things off. Let's jump over to the charts. We'll start it off with the Dow. You see the acceleration? We're talking about only about 60 points, a pretty tight trading range in the markets. But the Dow, even in the last about 5 minutes, what are we looking at here? That's a minute bar. No wonder it looks a little. Let's put that on a 5 minute. You see things mellowing out from about midnight from where we were. NASDAQ 100. Yeah, we're at 1 minute on all of these. Okay, 5 minute, 85.32. The highs overnight in that, about 85.63. S&P's trading at 27.65 right now. Crude oil, putting this on a 15-minute for some context. As we mentioned, the flash low yesterday, things mellowing out a bit potentially today. Gold contract, putting that on a 15-minute. Gold reaching the high of almost 17.30, currently at 17.15. And the euro US dollar trading up to about 108.76. Jumping right into things, it is earnings season. Delta books first quarter loss after burning $100 million in cash a day. That's $1 billion every 10 days burning in cash when your business goes from 100% to potentially almost 0%. Wednesday posted a pre-tax loss of $607 million for the first quarter. Bleak forecast for this spring as coronavirus continues to sap travel demand. The revenue plunging 18% in the quarter to $8.6 billion. Revenue will likely fall 90% on the year. 90% on the year. Delta shares, obviously the airlines especially hit hard, but on that news, actually trading up 23.70, closed yesterday at 23.10. United Airlines down a bit from 27.88 to 27. American Airlines at about $11. JetBlue up a bit at about 8.45. Other companies, how about Netflix after the bell last night? Pretty much unchanged in terms of price. We'll jump over to the chart in a moment, but they added almost 16 million subscribers for the quarter, bringing their total number to 183 million. It's the most ever they've added in a quarter, I believe. Netflix biggest hits are society's biggest hits, showing that Netflix dominates the American culture. I wouldn't debate that. You even have Reed Hastings. Sorry, that's a different story, jumping over to Disney. But the numbers pretty stark in terms of what they added, jumping over to Netflix shares. But they also talked about there could be slowdown in the future. And boy, you see, I even had friends texting me right when it came out. The expression was Netflix to the moon. It was to the moon for a period of about 20 minutes. This is a 5-minute chart. And since that time, we've actually been almost negative or flirting with even. We're going to open about $7 on the bottom for Netflix. Chipotle, a little bit of a different story. Earnings top estimates as diners shifted orders online, driving its digital sales up 81%. Same-store sales rose 3.3%, although overall transactions fell 1.4%. So higher sales, less transactions, larger transaction value, obviously, factoring into that. Chipotle but increased their hourly employee by 10%, handing out first quarter bonuses for those working. $3.08 a share. They were looking for $2.90. Revenue right in line at $1.41 billion. They reported first quarter net income $76.39 million, down from $88 million a year earlier. And net sales rose 7.8%. And you see the same store sales growth. Now they've been charging back from having their woes. But check out that pop. 786 up to about 835, and this stock, you talk about a turnaround from 940 down to a low of 415, and we're going to open more than 100% above that level at 833. Some of these companies, I mean, it's remarkable when you figured out that people were going to be, of course, ordering this type of food. They actually grew their sales even with all of this going on. Uber shares, just jumping to some of the ride sharing. Uber shares trading up a bit. Big numbers for Chipotle, though, as they trade dramatically higher. United shares drop after the company announces fresh stock offering as coronavirus drives travel demand to essentially zero. They're planning to sell 39 million shares worth slightly more than $1 billion as of Tuesday's close. The airline shares are down 70% of the year. U.S. Airlines this week started receiving portions of $25 billion in federal grants and loans to keep paying workers through September 30th. So those shares, in terms of United, we took a quick peek, but checking that out on that context, quite the fall off, right? From 90 down to 27.88. And there's the spike on that news coming out, I see, and we're down a bit, but we were as low as like 26.08. AT&T, they're out with their numbers. I mean, big week of earnings. Always fun getting a bunch of these companies, especially in light of what's going on. AT&T misses revenue estimates as the coronavirus weighs on business. Total revenue, $42.8 billion. Expectation was $44.2. They said the pandemic reduced earnings by 5 cents a share. Advertising sales, which was severely hit due to the postponement of live sports, such as March Madness. Lower wireless equipment sales led to a $600 million decline in revenue, AT&T reported. In the first 3 months of the year, AT&T added 163,000 net new monthly phone subscribers. They were only looking for 90,700. They were able to earn more customers despite shutting down more than 40% of its retail stores. Quite a business plan. You close down 40% of your stores and you actually add 163,000 monthly phone subscribers. The coronavirus pandemic had a $435 million impact on EBITDA. They lost 897,000 so-called premium TV subscribers, which includes its satellite TV provider DirecTV and a small number of Uverse users. As more consumers, that's almost 1 million people. I wonder what that shift is. I imagine that's a huge portion of DirecTV numbers in there. For AT&T, Warner Media, which suffered the brunt of the impact from the pandemic, reported $7.4 billion in revenue, down from $8.4. Don't want to sound harsh, but $1 billion ain't that bad if that's your total impact here. The company reported total revenue of $42.8 billion, and the Wall Street was looking for $44.2. Jumping over to AT&T shares as we come into this first break. The market liking those numbers, going from 29.87. You see the volatility on the numbers. The conference call starting right now at 8:30, and look at that charge higher. They must be saying something. Stay tuned, folks. We'll come back, see what else we have on tap for Wednesday trading. Check in on oil as well. We'll be right back.
If you're in the CD market and looking for a secure investment, the Tiger First Mortgage Program may work for you. The security for these first mortgages are building lots in the tax opportunity zone in St. Petersburg, Florida. The Tax Act of 2018 set up tax-free zones across the country where you can build and hold for 10 years and pay no tax on the profits, which makes these lots valuable. The investment is anywhere from $30,000 to $75,000. The interest paid is 7% yearly, paid on a monthly basis. According to Bankrate.com, the best rate for a 4-year CD in the country as of February 20th is 3.1%. A $50,000 investment at a normal 4-year CD rate of 3.1% would give you income of $1,550 per year or $6,200 over the 4-year period. That same $50,000 investment in the Tiger First Mortgage Program would give you $3,500 per year or $14,000 over the 4 years. Which would you prefer, $6,200 or $14,000 of interest on your investment? If you would like more information about the Tiger First Mortgage Program, you can call me at 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190. 9190. 877 518 9190 that's 877 518 9190. 877 518 9190. 877 518 9190. 877 518 9190. 877 518 9190. 877 518 9190. 877 518 9190. 877 518 9190. 877 518 9190. 877 518 9190. 877 518 9190. 877 518 9190. 877 518 9190. 877 518 9190. 877 518 9190. 877 518 9190. 877 518 9190. 877 518 9190. 877 518 9190. 877 518 9190. 877 518 9190. 877 518 9190. 877 518 9190. 877 518 9190. 877 518 9190. 877 518 9190. 877 518 9190. 877 518 9190. 877 518 9190. 877 518 9190. 877 518 9190. 877 518 9190. 877 518 9190. 877 518 9190. 877 518 9190. 877 518 9190. The gold market has taken off topside in a large way in 2020. If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my gold report. The gold report took profits in 4 of its equities in the gold portfolio in the first week of January for a combined profit of 99.2%, with 2 positions left in the portfolio that have a profit of 67.5% as of January 7th. The Gold Report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the Gold Report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the Gold Report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. S&P is positive by 40, Dow positive by 321. We're going to jump into some Snap earnings as well. Quite the delivery for Snap in terms of their numbers, jumping from $12.44. We pull up the chart straight up to $15, and we've held that level overnight, $15.04. You're up about 20 cents. To get into what they had to say, earnings results for the quarter, $462 million in revenue, up more than 44% from the $320 million the company reported the first quarter of last year. Loss per share, 8 cents, revenue $462. Daily active users, 229 million, up 39 million or 20% from last year. And I wonder what they were looking for. They were not looking for that, though. The analyst, in terms of traders liking the numbers, they expected a loss of 7 cents per share on $428.8 million in revenue for the first quarter. However, comparing Snap's results against analyst estimates is not straightforward given the impact, of course, with the coronavirus. Nonetheless, Snap shares trading higher this morning. Weekly mortgage demand stalls, even with interest rates at a record low. The average contracted interest rate for the 30-year fixed mortgages with conforming loan balances unchanged at 3.45%. Total mortgage application volume decreased 0.3% last week from the previous week, according to the Mortgage Bankers Association. Macy's with some headlines out there as they weigh raising as much as $5 billion with a B in debt to weather coronavirus crisis. It will seek to use its inventory as collateral to raise $3 billion and real estate to raise $1 billion to $2 billion. They said the people stressed that bankruptcy is not a focus for Macy's at this time. Well, that's what you're always going to say, right? Until that last effort or moment, until you have to. But Macy's up at 531, up about 11 pennies with the market so far this morning. For some context on Macy's, going from about $17.50 down to $4.38. And what do I have these times? Okay, I was like, what am I looking at for? Yeah, 73 down to about $18. And man, quite a fall off from August of 2018. So you're talking about basically a year and a half. You're going to go from $42 down to $5. Tough deal for Macy's. Other stocks out there with action. in terms of what is moving. Where are my headlines that I had here? So this will play out, of course. Senate passes $484 billion coronavirus bill for small business and hospital relief testing. It heads to the House, which hopes to approve the legislation as soon as Thursday. Congress will move to pass more legislation after it approves the small business this week. I thought I had one more headline out there, but either way. Jumping to other stocks, and let me zoom in this chart. In terms of action, I was looking at Disney last night when I heard the Netflix numbers. Disney getting a nice pop, maybe seeing the subscriber growth that Netflix got. Disney has already given indications in terms of surpassing 50 million subscribers at one point. To put this on a daily basis for Disney. And trying to see what day it was. This might have been the day here, March 24th, potentially. They came out and said they had 50 million plus subscribers. We're looking at dailies. Yeah, that was a big jump in the market. Nonetheless, they've come out, told the world 50 million plus subscribers. Maybe that's already baked in, but the market liking that with Netflix. Some of the FANG stocks. Amazon, quite a sell-off yesterday for Amazon, middle of the day. You're going to open a bit higher this morning, but putting that on a 15-minute. I mean, that volatility there. Yesterday morning, you opened on Amazon at about $24.20, and you lost $140 by 10:45 a.m. Yesterday morning. But guess what? We're going to open right back up at about, so yeah, we're basically at $23.65 right now, which is the last big bar before Amazon. Facebook shares trading up to 178.20. Maybe that's on some Snap numbers, potentially, because that's quite a nice pop for Facebook shares from 168 yesterday, the low, to 178, $10 just like that. Google shares trading up a bit from 12.16 to 12.42. We covered Netflix, but checking in, 4.29. Netflix down about $4 on their numbers from the 4.85. And Apple shares at about 273 from 268. Checking in on oil. Oil getting a little bit of a pop since we even came on the air. We're looking at a 15-minute bar, 830. I mean, check out these moves in oil, right? You just went from, look at this bar. 1173 is the low, 1338 is the high, and this is a 15-minute bar. Remarkable. I was looking at some spread contracts in the Nadex platform yesterday, and I'm just going to set this for a second. Let's zoom that out, because what did happen yesterday was pretty remarkable. That's your overnight. Hold on one second. I want to get into, yeah, these contract expires at 3:30? No, 2:30? Yeah, I think these times are off, because this was at about 2 o'clock maybe. The moves are crazy either way. When you're playing, $3 spreads and you get movements of almost $2 in 15 minutes, there's a lot of volatility there for maybe some defined risk is what I would say. Gold contract holding steady at about 17.20 so far. And checking in on silver, quite a decline for silver yesterday, falling from about 15.45 to almost a full dollar, 14.56. Silver up at 15.11. Bitcoin shares trading at about 7,000. Last week we saw some volatility, 64.65 up to 72.55. And getting into notes and bonds, we see the action a bit as the market. S&P is now up 43. You have bonds pulling back a bit. You have the 10-year we're looking at right now at 139.02, down about 10 ticks so far this morning. Other action out there going on. Coming over to the front page of TFNN, we're running the Tiger's Den open house. We had a lot of great signups. This ending at the end of April. So get in there. We got about a week left. You can get a full month of the Tiger's Den open house. And don't forget, a week from tomorrow now, Tom O'Brien, my dad, he's doing an all-day webinar, 9 a.m. till 4 p.m. He'll take a lunch break from 12 to 1, 6 hours. That'll be archived. Quality volume, ABC structures, Fibonacci confluence zones, cause and effect, swing points, timing the trade. You get a physical copy of his book. That'll be mailed to you. You get a month of Market Insights. If you are a current member of Market Insights, you can get that for free. So I believe that's a $169 value for the newsletter, $88 for the book, $395 total. And encourage you to sign up. Check that out on the front page of TFNN. That'll be a week from tomorrow. Pretty remarkable. April 30th, a week from tomorrow, coming into May already on that number. In terms of the raw numbers for coronavirus, checking in, this is the U.S. total. 825,000 cases, 45,000 deaths, a remarkable number. And one of the president's advisors yesterday, I believe it was Dr. Birx, she was saying, I believe, that even if we've hit a peak of cases, the peak in deaths, unfortunately, could be a later period, because what happens is that as those cases, of course, cascade, you see deaths coming anywhere from 2 to 8 weeks after that number. So hopefully that number plateauing at some point soon as well. When you pull it up on the worldwide basis, pretty stunning numbers, 2.58 million, the U.S. representing 825,000 of that. As we come into the break, checking back on the S&Ps, this market holding the gains, 2744 in the S&Ps, right up to the highs we were at 5 a.m. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be coming back to finish up the program. We'll be right back in 3 minutes.
I'm certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as their #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranks me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools, as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get that competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com, educating investors.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They've been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. S&P is positive by 44 points. Dow positive by 372. Other news items crossing my desk this morning. So the coronavirus death hit U.S. weeks earlier than first thought. The first deaths now coming in February 6th and February 17th, Santa Clara County, which means February 6th. Previously, the first report of a U.S. death from COVID-19 had come on February 29th. Quite an upgrade in terms of 3 weeks. Days afterward, 2 earlier deaths in the state were attributed to the viral illness, both occurring on February 26th. So that meaning that this was either a late January, probably January, into February, early February, circulating without being known and spreading. Why oil at negative $100 isn't a crazy bet anymore. I wouldn't call it crazy when we just had oil trading at negative $40. If you can trade at negative 40, why can't you trade at negative 100? What's the real difference? If you need to get rid of a barrel of oil that quickly and you're in that bad of a need, doesn't seem like that bad of a deal to pay 100 as to 40 in terms of getting, as opposed to getting stuck with it. But nonetheless, and jumping over to the USO. So the headline here, and it's something to keep in mind. Retail investors who believe they were investing in crude oil got a rude awakening. It's talking about the USO, all right? And what it's saying here is that you are trading the front month contract in USO, front month contract of oil in the USO. Now, just yesterday, they're now going to keep 20% of what they have in forward contracts further than the month out, in terms of having 80% in the front month, 20% in the following month. They roll about 2 weeks prior to expiration. But if you hold this thing, what this article states, I mean, if you're holding this, right, there's a huge contango going on right now from front month to the months further down the line, okay? So you have to sell the front month. You have to buy the future months, which are more expensive. So if you hold this, inevitably, that transition is very expensive right now, and that's going to hit the USO repeatedly as you're making that rollover. Something to keep in mind if you're looking at that USO. And we'll pull up the net asset value at 10 o'clock. I believe it's still trading at a premium to net asset value as well, meaning it will pull back or should pull back at some point. We'll check in out. Stay tuned, folks. Larry Pesavento live at 9. I'll be back at 10 o'clock with Tom. Live programming all day at TFNN. We'll be right back.